I guess I could, right? We are going over worksheet 27B. Worksheet 27B. And we're doing 6 through 10, all right? We just went over that yesterday in class. So here it is. It's negative 3x plus 2 over 7 is greater than 0. So this one's nice because I don't have to move anything over. I already got the 0 over there, don't I? So that saves us a little bit of steps. So what do? We set the top and the bottom equal to 0. But look at the bottom. Are we really going to set the bottom equal to 0? No, because we already have a number on the bottom. Okay, I don't set 7 equal to 0 because 7, there's no way 7 could ever equal 0. So all I do is just take the top, 3x plus 2, negative 3x plus 2, set it equal to 0, and let's solve for x. So we subtract a 2 from both sides, so that'll give you negative 2. Divide by negative 3, so that'll give you 2/3, correct? But what do we want to do? We want to try that on our number line, right? Because it doesn't say equals 0, does it? But we always set it equal to 0 first, so we know where to put our number. Okay, so I've got 2/3 right here. So really, what am I going to do? There's not 3 places to check, are there? There are only 2 places because I only have one number on my number line. So I pick a number to the left and I pick a number to the right. I want to see which ones come out what? Greater than 0, or what? What kind of number is greater than 0? Positive. Okay, so I want to find out what's going to give me a positive value. Are all the numbers to the left of 2/3, if I stick it in for x, is that going to give me a positive value? Or are all the numbers to the right of 2/3 going to give me a positive value? So let's choose one. What have we been choosing that makes it really easy? 0. So where is 0? Is it to the left of 2/3, or is it to the right of 2/3? It's to the left. 0 would be right in here somewhere, wouldn't it? So if this works, if 0 works, then any number to the left of 2/3 is going to make this thing work. You got it? So let's put a 0 in there. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2/7 is 2/7 greater than 0. Absolutely. So that means it came out what? It came out positive. So that means any number that you choose to the left of 2/3 is going to make this come out to a positive number, right? So what would you think would happen over on this side? This should be negative, right? So let's just try it. Let's just try an easy number. What would you try? Try 1. That's to the right of 2/3, isn't it? Alright, so let's try a 1 and stick it in here. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 over 7. Is negative 1 over 7, is that positive? No, of course not. It's negative. So that means any number that you choose to the right of 2/3, greater than 2/3, is going to give you a negative answer. Any number you choose to the left of 2/3 is going to give you a positive answer. Does that make sense? Yellow. So if I was to graph this thing, how would I graph it? Well, first of all, before I do anything, am I going to put a bracket or a parentheses at the 2/3? Is it open or closed? It's open because it doesn't say or equal to, right? So it's going to be open right here. So there you go. Because if I would put 2/3 into this, what would I get? I would get this thing to be equal to 0, right? This doesn't say what makes it equal to 0, it says what makes it greater than 0. Alright, so that's going to be open right there, and then we just shade everything to the left. Alright, and that's basically what you do. Alright, let's write it in that form that they want you to write it in. What do they call that? Interval notation, thank you. So interval notation, that's correct. Oh, what did I do here? Anyway, you get the idea. Alright, so how do we write an interval notation? This is negative infinity that way, isn't it? So our numbers are any number between negative infinity and 2/3. And it's closed right there. That is the answer. That's exactly what I read off to you too, isn't it? Alright. That was actually pretty easy, wasn't it? Compared to what we've done before. Alright, let's try another one. 7. It's a little different because you do have x's on top and bottom this time. On 6 you didn't have them on the bottom. So it's negative 6x plus 3 over 2x squared plus 4, and that is greater than 0 again. Well, again, that's nice because I don't have to worry about taking the thing on the right side and putting it onto the left side, so it saves me a couple steps. That's nice. But what do we do here? We set the top equal to what? And we set the bottom equal to 0. I think that heat's kicking on now. Can you feel it? You can smell it. Yep, right, because all the dust. It shouldn't smell musty though, because it's been on all day. But anyway, alright, let's solve for 0 then. Subtract a 3 from both sides, so negative 6x equals negative 3. Divide by negative 6 on both sides, so let's see what we get. We get x equals 1/2, positive 1/2. Let's do this one. Subtract a 4 from both sides. Ooh, I see what's going to happen here. Do you? If I subtract a 4, then I divide by 2, so x squared equals negative 2. It's just going to be what? It's not the square root of 2. It's the square root of what? Just say it. Don't even say the I. It's the square root of what? Negative 2. Can I take the square root of a negative and come out with a real number? No, I'd have to come out with an imaginary number, right? All these answers that we're getting right here are on a number line. Imaginary numbers don't lie on a number line, right? So we are only looking for real numbers here. So can I even use this part of it right here? No, not at all. So there's really nothing that I can put in for x that will make the denominator equal to 0. Does that make any sense? So really, so I don't even have to worry about this thing right here. So really all I got to do is worry about, I shouldn't circle this, I was about to circle it, but I'll put an arrow. Alright, this is what we're going to deal with right here. Now that's not my answer though, is it? I don't write x equals 1/2. Remember, I got to write that number line down. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's draw a number line right here. And look, we're only putting one number on it, just like we did on that other problem. So it's 1/2. So now what do? We just look to the left and we look to the right. Let's try 0. Where's 0? Same thing as it was before, right? It's to the left of 1/2. So 0 would be in here somewhere. So let's stick a 0 in for this thing and see what we get. See what kind of number we get. Again, we're looking for a positive answer, aren't we? Right, just like we were before. So negative 6 plus 3. Let's put in, what am I putting in? 0. Negative 6 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. Or positive. I don't really care about the actual number itself. I just care if it's positive or negative. Alright, so it's positive. I'll put the number here anyway. Alright, and let's put the 0 in for the bottom. 0 squared is 0 times 2 is 0. 0 plus 4 is positive 4. So look what I get. I get a positive over a positive, which is what? Positive. Okay, so that means any number to the left is going to be positive. That's basically my answer right there, isn't it? It goes from where? Negative infinity to positive 1/2. Let's just try, just for fun, let's just try a number to the right, just to make sure that it does come out negative like we think it should. Alright? Because that's what I kind of guess, right? If all the stuff to the left comes out positive, then all the stuff to the right of 1/2 will come out negative. So let's try it. Put a 1 in there. Negative 6 times positive 1 is negative 6 plus 3 is a negative, isn't it? Over, put a 1 in here. Well, that's all positive stuff, right? So that's going to come out positive. I don't even care what the number is. I just care if it's negative or positive. So I get a negative over a positive, which is a negative. So that means all the numbers to the right of 1/2 are going to come out to be negative. What am I looking at? I want all the numbers that are positive because this thing says greater than 0. So I'm picking all the numbers to the left of 1/2. Now, how do I write my answer? Tell you what, before I even write my answer, I'm going to graph the thing. I think it's easy to graph. Let's do this. First of all, let me scooch back up again so I see all this. It's greater than 0. It's not or equal to, is it? So I don't put a bracket here. What do I put? Put a parentheses right here. Alright, so I put a parentheses at 1/2, and it's everything to the left. So we do this, like that. Okay? So that's what the graph would look like. How do I write the answer in interval notation? Well, we just did one exactly like this in the last problem, didn't we? It goes from where? Negative infinity all the way to what? 1/2. It's open here, it's open here. That's my answer. Just like that. Make sense? Yeah, the other ones are a little bit difficult, right? The other ones you're going to get 3 places where you have to check it. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Let's try number 8. We'll do them all. Might as well. I think we got some time. I don't know. I always forget what time this is. 20. Oh, we don't have a whole lot of time. Which one do we want to do? 8, 9, or 10? Give me a 9. Okay, let's do 9. Let's not do 8 then. Let's do 9. 10x over 4 minus x. And that is less than or equal to 5x. Alright, here's the deal. This time we don't have a 0 on the right side, so we've got to move it over. So I'm going to go 10x over 4 minus x. What do? I subtract a 5x, right? Subtract a 5x. So that gets rid of this, and it makes it a 0. But how do I subtract a 5x? I could put it over 1, but do you remember what we do? Common denominator, so 4 minus x here, and then times 4 minus x here. Would you agree that's the same thing as just minus 5x? Yeah, absolutely, because 4 minus x over 4 minus x is 1. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Now, why did I pick 4 minus x? Did I just pick that out of the blue? No, because it's common denominator. All right. Now we have to, and this is still less than or equal to 0. We still have to do a little work with this. All right. We still have to distribute this 5x. In fact, it's not just a 5x. What is it? It's a negative 5x. Think of it as a negative 5x. If you don't think of it as a negative 5x, a lot of people tend to forget to distribute the negative through the second one. They usually remember the first one, right? But a lot of times students forget to distribute that negative through the second one. All right, so make sure that you do understand that. So what do we have so far? This is all over one denominator, 4 minus x. So let's see what we get on top. First of all, you got a 10x from that first fraction. And then we get minus 5x times 4, which is negative 20x. You see that? I'm just distributing. It's a negative 5x times a 4, which is negative 20x. Then it's also negative 5x times what? Negative x. So negative times negative is positive what? 5x squared. Good. And that's less than or equal to 0. Alright, let's do a little more with this. We can add these like terms, can't we? 10x, yep, 10x minus 20x is negative 10x, right? Everybody see that? So this right there is going to be a negative 10x. But instead of writing it negative 10x plus 5x squared, wouldn't it be a little bit nicer and cleaner if we just went 5x squared minus 10x? Don't you think? Absolutely. Over 4 minus x. Oops, not 4x. What am I doing? It's just 4 minus x. Alright? So let's just keep it like that. Alright? And what do we do now? Now we got 0 on the right-hand side. We didn't have to do that for the other two problems. But we had to do all this stuff first before we move on. Alright, here we go. So let's do what? Set both of these. Let's change colors. I'm tired of that color. Set them both equal to 0. So 5x squared minus 10x equals 0. Then come over here and take the bottom and set that equal to 0. Let's see what we get here. Let's do this. Make it a little easier. Divide both sides by 5. Agreed? Divide this by 5, by 5, by 5. What do I get? X squared minus 2x, right, equals 0. Does this thing factor? Well, kind of. Watch. Factor out an x. Not kind of. It does factor. It's not kind of factor. Alright? And then what do we do here? Set them both equal to 0. So x equals 0 and x equals what? 2. I'm not going to circle it because it's not really my answer. I'll put them in a box, though, just to kind of make them stand out a little bit. Now come over here and solve for x. So watch this step. It's really easy. Make this minus x, put it over here to the right, and you've got your answer. So what is it? X equals what? 4. See it? Put that in a box. Alright, so there are my values for x. 3 of them. That's a little weird, isn't it? Because I'm not used to that. I'm used to just 2 or 1. So let's do it way down here. Let's do a number line. Alright, and orange. Let's see, let's put some of those numbers on here. I got 0, 2, and 4, correct? So 0, 2, and 4. Wow, I got all these different places to choose, don't I? Well, let's choose them all and see what we get. Okay, let's choose a number. Let's write down the original. What was the original thing? It was this, right? So let's pick that. Actually, well, when we reduced it down, let's pick this. Is that alright? Gee whiz. So loud. Not going to go out again. I guess they just dismissed from lunch, right? Alright, so let's use this one right here. And let's put the numbers in and see what we get. Now, 0 is one of my numbers already, so I don't really want to pick 0. So I got to pick a number to the left of 0. Give me an easy number to the left of 0. Negative 1. Let's try negative 1. So negative 1 squared is 1. Oh, that's us already. Let's finish this up. Do you mind? Watch this. Negative 1 squared is 1 times 5 is 5. Correct? This is negative 1, but negative 10 times negative 1 is positive 10, so it's plus 10. Alright? So that gives you a positive on the top, doesn't it? What about the bottom? If I put a negative 1 in for this, minus negative, 4 minus a negative is 4 plus 1, which is 5, which is positive. So everything in this section is positive. What about between here and here? What's an obvious choice? 1. Let's put a 1 in, a positive 1. So x, put a 1 in here, so that's 1 times 5, that's 5 again. Put a 1 here, though. That's minus 10, isn't it? Put a 1 in here. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's still positive. Correct? So this is going to be what? Negative, let's do it right here. Negative over positive, so that's going to be what? That's going to be negative right there. Let's try a number between 2 and 4. Let's get rid of, yeah, I would pick 3. Let's get rid of all this mess just to get it out of the way. Alright, let's pick a 3. 3 squared, that's 9, that's 45. Put a 3, that's minus 30. So that's positive on the top, correct? Put a 3 in for this. 4 minus 3, that's positive. So that's positive right here. Okay, what do you think that is? You'd probably be negative, right? So let's just try one. Put a 5 in here. Okay, put a 5. Yeah, 5 squares 25 times 5. That's 125. Put a 5 in here. That's still going to be positive, isn't it? Okay, so I got positive on the top. Put a 5 on the bottom. Look at that. That's negative. Positive over negative is negative. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for all the numbers that are less than or equal to 0. Where are they? Well, they're in between here and here, right? And from here to here, which actually keeps on going, doesn't it? All right, so what are my answers? From 0 to 2. Now look, it says less than or equal to 0. That's why I have a bracket
Rachel Smith,
right there.
Kathleen Becker.
Let me just double check this answer, right? And I got a bracket right here because of this greater than or equal to. And then what do we do here? It's union. It's a bracket at 4, and it goes to infinity. Infinity always has open right there, and there you go. All right, that's it. I'll let you go and work on that worksheet that I gave you today.
Vinny Perez.
All right, yeah, I will take those.
NPR, Vinny